Hello, everyone. This is Chapter 1, Part 1 of A Sparrow's Secret. I hope you enjoy. Have you ever been in such a vivid and realistic dream and somehow known it was a dream? You could smell the air around you, or maybe you could hear specific voices and recognize the people speaking. Those dreams when things don't feel quite right, but you don't see the need to question anything. The night before the first day of fifth grade was like this for me. I knew I was dreaming and I was loving it. The first clue it was a dream came from my dad. He was walking next to me in the school hallway, talking a mile a minute. It wasn't weird that my dad would walk with me down the school hallway. We've done it plenty of times before, at least twice a week. See, my dad was a math and science teacher at my elementary school. His students usually liked him a lot because he's not normal. I love my dad because he's not normal. My dad is like a kid who only became an adult in size, not in heart. Growing up with my dad is difficult to explain. He's just a big kid. He liked to play hide and seek. He would scare us when we weren't expecting it, and he cried at movies. A lot of movies. When he told my sister and I that he wanted to start teaching, we were a little shocked. We quickly found that my dad was the same as a teacher as he was at home. Students loved his weird randomness. Some adults didn't get it. Anyway, back to my dream. What made me realize this was a dream was my dad and I were the same height. If this was reality, I would wonder how in the world I became so tall overnight. But in dreams, things don't ever need to make sense. I don't know what we were talking about, but I would look to my right and see my dad's face at my eye level. So weird. My dad was telling me something about doing well in school and all the changes coming my way. As we turned a corner in the hallway, we saw an amazing sight. If I wasn't sure this was a dream by then, the craziness ahead of me left no doubt I was dreaming. Let's start with who started walking right next to me and couldn't stop talking. It was Donkey from the movie Shrek. He kept going on about his first day of school and how Fiona and Shrek would be so lonely without him. I couldn't tell if he was talking to me or not. I tried not to stare, but it was impossible. He suddenly stopped walking and looked up at me. That's when I noticed the AirPod in his ear. Yeah, I know they're going to miss me, Gingy. I left an 8-hour podcast with Shrek and Fiona to enjoy while I'm at school. I smiled to myself until I noticed Donkey glaring at me. Do you mind? He asked me with an annoyed tone in his voice. He stopped at a locker and continued talking. Just some tall kid listening to me talk to you. I imagined the gingerbread man relaxing on the couch, watching TV, while Donkey kept talking on the phone. My attention was pulled away by a large commotion down the hall. Leaning against some lockers were all three Spider-Man actors in full costume. Andrew Garfield was my favorite Spider-Man actor, and I tried to get his attention. He was more focused on something happening outside in the parking lot. I was hoping his spidey sense was preparing for a battle. I looked out the window to where Andrew was staring and saw characters from the movie Cars. Mater was frustrating Lightning McQueen. We could hear Mater's unique voice explain to McQueen that he was saving the last parking spot for Sven because he knew Kristoff would be coming to school soon. This had to be the coolest school ever. Right when I turned my attention back to the hallway, I saw the little bird. There wasn't anything special about it, just a common sparrow perched near a window overlooking the courtyard. It wasn't a cartoon character like Mater or Lightning McQueen. This was a live-action bird with a chirp that I could clearly hear. Even though it moved with the normal and patient movement of all birds, I felt a sense of peace as I watched him. He seemed happy. I cannot say for certain it was a him, but I just felt like it was a him.